On to
Bucs.
Tampa
Bucks.
Bay. The Tampa Bay
Of
Buccaneers.
of all, I have to ask the fan of a team in this division, are the Bucks like your most hated team in this division?
It's still the Falcons.
Okay.
I think it'll always be the Falcons. I think there is a level of like, if Bijan Robinson was drafted to 31 other teams, I'd have his jersey on the wall. That's what I'll say. Like
I'll tell
I
you, I was going to say just about the same thing for me, just because give us our picks. I don't know. Just saying. Give us our picks. I'm still on that. I'm still on that.
Unbelievable.
uh that is funny. Like, it is funny to look back because the Falcons don't get any picks. It's not like this is a handing over. This is just the NFL kind of just being standstill on this. That I think it's funny. But
Yeah, they didn't necessarily get much out of it except for like, their GM. But like, I don't know. We've been saying for years that Ian
I like that the
Cunningham is a
Matt Ryan
good
rule is just made
GM.
up.
Yeah. I don't know. I had
We
to
don't
comment
know.
on that.
We'll
It's
see.
funny.
We'll
It's a
see if
funny
he's a
bit.
good GM. Yeah.
Yeah. He
All right.
extended Bijan. I'd say that's a good first move, right? First big one, at least.
I feel like it's easy.
Yeah.
We will move on to the Buccaneers. 8-9 in the division. It felt like everything that could go wrong for this team did. Every single player at one time or another got hurt, and it started with Tristan Wirfs hurt in training camp, right? Like, he missed the first four-ish games, and Graham Barton had to play left tackle, their center, and still somehow we're fighting for the division. They needed all Tyler Shuck to get him in there, and he couldn't. Poor guy. And yeah, 19th in EPA, 19th in success rate. Their defense kind of, slowly goes down. We'll talk about that when we get into the questions. But Baker had a rough year. Even me, his biggest hater, can see that something was going wrong. Like, something was going wrong with his injury status, and even, like, I think the Netflix show kind of pointed that out, where he had a sprained AC joint, played through it, tough as hell. I mean, like, there is something about Baker, like, proving he is the toughest guy all the time. It feels like he's the kid still on JV trying to prove he could play varsity. Like, that's the way I always like to describe him. So good on him for fighting through. But yeah, their coaching changes. They swapped out Josh Grizzard for Zach Robinson from Atlanta. So interested to see what that offense looks like. They ran a lot of pistol, and I don't know if that was a Michael Penix thing or a Zach Robinson thing. We'll see. They brought back K. Dot and Dan Feeney and Sean Tucker, free agency, Alex Anzalone to replace Levante David, Kenneth Gainwell, Ashawn Robinson, Al-Qadim Muhammad for $4 million. I think that
I
might
love that.
be my like favorite signing so far.
Yeah.
Like, he can produce for somebody, and then Christian Roseboom and Browning as a backup quarterback. They of course lost Mike Evans to San Francisco in a very vocal, like, he took less money to leave. So that clearly shows he believes that this state of the team is not worth fighting for and staying through. Jamel Dean, Logan Hall, Michael Jordan, their guard, played a ton for them. Like, he's barely a NFL player, and he played a ton for them. And then Rashad White and Hassan Reddick, that was a swing and a miss last season. Their draft, you guys loved their first-round pick, Reuben Bain, falling to them at 15. I loved the rest of it. Josiah Trotter, Ted Hurst, Keontae Scott, and 3 more day 3 selections. I mean, they're all 3 of these guys. I think even Hurst, to a degree, could slot in right away and play actual roles. So, and we'll talk about that. But getting into the main questions about Todd Bowles and why I am calling it, this is not a question to me, he's the hottest seat in the NFL. Just when you talk about the consistent decline of defense, their EPA per play by year from defensively, 11th in 2021, 14th in 2022, 20th in 2023, 19th in 24, and then finally at its floor of 22nd this past season. So again, it just continues to go down. And this is a guy that when he was hired to take over for Bruce Arians, it was kind of spoken as, hey, like, we're going to keep this defense steady and we'll win because of the defense. And it just hasn't been that. The next one, contract year Baker, that's a big one. I
Let's
think
go.
there's a lot of, if we think Baker is in prove it mode already, now he's made like his own team an enemy, likely, because he's proven them wrong too to get a contract. So he'll be an exciting, even more volatile player likely this season. And then my final question, how good are the rookies? Because like Bain
It's
has
a
a
good
clear
draft.
role
Yeah.
like sized out. Josiah Trotter does things that Alex Anzalone cannot do. Ted Hurst is. It feels like they just were like, oh man, we lost Mike Evans, a long vertical X receiver. Let's go get the best vertical X receiver in the third round in Ted Hurst, and then Keontae Scott. He's gonna blitz from the nickel a few times this year, and he is going to hit the hell out of a quarterback. I'm telling you right now. And then like a pseudo question, Vita Vea, like is he on this roster come time for September? I think so, just from the standpoint of like I think someone said it best. I think it was Greg Rosenthal said like of NFL Network, like just give him a raise for this season. Like just give him a raise. It does nothing. Like it still lets him hit the open market next season, along with whatever you do with Baker, and it kind of gives you that out if you want a soft reset next year if it doesn't go well. It seems that that's what he wants is kind of a yeah, give him a raise, and he still can hit the open market to go for a California team, which has been reported. So that was something to throw on here is Vita Vea requesting a trade. But any thoughts on the Bucs?
Which, like, really quickly, like, if this doesn't go well, I think this could be more than a soft reset. Like, next year could be more than a soft reset for the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this is a bad season, like, finally, can we fire Todd Bowles? And then that,
Yeah,
like, leads you to the next question. Like, do you end up paying Baker, like, $45 million? Because that's what he's going to want.
he wants
And then,
more.
like, yeah. So, like, if this season does not go well for the Bucks, next season could be, I think, even more than again like your soft reset. Like it could be like a we have to really figure things out here. Um, as you said though, like this draft, like that's where I think like you can really highlight this team is like it is just full of guys that like from day one will at least get chances to start. And again, I don't want to be like they're going to be great because they're rookies. You don't want to ever project that by any means. But again, they're absolutely from day one. Ruben Bain will be a starter. Uh, Trotter is their starting outside linebacker, at least on
Yeah,
their depth chart. Ted Hurst, as you said, I
he'll
mean,
compete
there's a
with
role.
Dennis at the very
Yeah,
least. Yeah,
yeah. There is a role behind, there's a role cut out for Ted Hurst if he can like flash stuff. Um, so like this is really where it could become pretty fun for the Bucks is if this draft class hits the way that like it has the potential to. Like this could be the difference in the Bucks being like I don't want to say this low, but like this could be the difference of the Bucks being like a 6-win team versus the Bucks being the divisional winner. Or the yeah. So I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah, I'll add. I mean, it's funny, and I appreciate the fact that you put in the work that you do to give us the numbers and last season's results. Because when you look at this team and what they did as far as their overall efficiency on both sides of the ball, you'll look at this team and be like, surely they didn't play in the playoffs, right? Like, or like have a shot at it. And that Bucks and Panthers game felt like a playoff game. So but I mean, I think that they just did great on this draft. Couldn't be more over the moon about Bain as Ben was talking about. But Josiah Trotter is somebody I'm also really excited about. The more that I'm hearing about him in training camp, moving really fast to the ball and making a lot of noise. The trajectory is something that is something I'll be paying attention to, just from here on out. But another move that really intrigued me, obviously they got rid of Rashad White, but Kenneth Gainwell, adding him to the running back room, I think is a lot of fun. Alongside Bucky Irving, this gives them another pass catching back to where he can kind of still explode. I mean, he was we saw that in Pittsburgh just last season.
He was their leading pass catcher.
Yeah. So it's interesting there. I think that they could still make some noise despite the fact that they lost Mike Evans, still big on Ibuka. Chris Godwin's still there. And I mean, I was going to say that this was going to be my breakout player on the offensive side was Jalen McMillan, just as an increased role. But he's dealing with another injury. So who knows? That's my own question that I'll add to it is what is going on with this guy and how much longer does he have? You know what I mean? But before, if you guys want to hit on that, I just want to say Baker and the things that he has done with this team, like him or not, I genuinely feel like he's at least earned a little bit. Like maybe not a super long-term extension, but like this guy has definitely earned a couple more years.
That's what
with
he
this
wants.
Team.
They've said like 2 for 100 has been on the table and he's declined. He wants something long-term. That's just interjecting on that.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, I mean, he's a really, I mean, I wouldn't say like top 10 by any means, but like this guy can go out and win you a game, and with the right mindset as well. Like he's done very well under pressure in situations like this, to where if he wants to go and prove you wrong, he will, and he'll make you regret it too. So I'm interested to see what happens with that. Like where is he at a year from now? And I hate to be that guy to speculate. I know it's the Bucs' current quarterback, but like he would never do this. I would love to see him go back to Cleveland. Like I think that would be so much fun.
Oh gosh,
he would never do that. He would never do that. But like I would like to see that. But anyways, back to the Bucs. Yeah, love the draft. Todd Bowles, I'm indifferent about. Fire him, keep him, I don't care. But like you're in a division to where you can still compete. I mean, what saves his job is my question. Like if he goes to the playoffs and loses in the playoff, like the first round,
playoff game. I think it's winning.
Just win one, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So, but what team is this one better than when it comes to a playoff team? This is not a top 7 team in the NFC by any means. So who are they beating? To me,
well, exactly. That's why he's on a hot seat.
Exactly. I understand that, but just adding an extra point to it as well. But again, I like Baker as a person too much, and I let that get in the way of how I feel about him as a player. I'm not afraid to admit that, but I do still think that this is a decent quarterback to have, and I'd take him over half the league, I would say.
It's fair.
So would the NFL execs. Like that recent QB tier. Like he was still 14th, tied with Darnold, even after a pretty subpar year. So
Yep. So, breakout players. This was like difficult for me because there was one player that like stood out to me, but then
there's one.
There was one player that stood out to me. The issue is they drafted a dude to play his spot.
He's playing boundary.
So Jacob Parrish is playing boundary.
Yes. Jamel Dean's gone.
I thought it was going to be Zion McCollum and BMO.
No, Morrison's bad. Parrish is good.
Okay. Well, there you go. Jacob Parrish. Matt just informed me, and now I feel comfortable actually taking him. It's Jacob Parrish. That's who like my breakout player is. He was so much fun to watch down the stretch. I think he's going to make a name for himself. I was joking with you guys as well, like other guys that I think like these are more household names that I think could become even more of household names. Tez Johnson, because they just need guys, and as Ryan pointed out, like there's some major questions with McMillan. We'll have like the 3-game stretch of Tez Johnson where everyone picks him up on waivers and then he does nothing the rest of the season. Can we be a little bit more consistent? I will continue until the earth burns to speak positive thoughts about Yaya Diaby. Like, can this be your 10-sack season? Oh my goodness, dude, I would love it. And now you actually like, I like the dude that's across from you. And then Kenny G, like he has a potential to like really get like a 50-50 split with Bucky Irvin, and maybe over the course of the schedule, like start playing him. But Jacob Parrish is like my main break. Okay.
I mean, I could go with the obvious and just say Ruben Bain, just because I've said that I've liked him since draft night, like on the podcast at least. Um, I'll go with Josiah Trotter and Jalen McMillan, despite the fact that McMillan's hurt right now, but whatever. Yeah, that's what I'll go with.
Were you Jacob Parrish, Matt?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think
Okay.
he fits the exact archetype to play boundary, and I think he's gonna not skip a beat and be very very good. I just want to like this offensive line, like that was another reason for this fundamental breakdown. Like Cody Mock played 3 games last year. Again, I mentioned Wirfs didn't play. Like they had one center play all 17 games, and that was Graham Barton. And again, like
Mhm.
Ryan said, they're still in a de facto playoff game in the last game of the season. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Um, as for breakout, like what if Kalijah Cansey has a season where he gets like he's coming off a season where he got hurt very quickly as well and played less than 100 snaps. So if that's someone that can break out and have a big sack season, like again what he's going to be. He's not going to defend the run. He's not going to play rundowns. But hey, maybe there's a 55 pressure kind of 8 sack season in there. Who knows? But hasn't happened yet, and so I'll throw him out there.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the schedule.
I do not envy their schedule. They have like a stretch in the middle of the season. Oh, bye, Matt or Ryan. But they do have a stretch in the middle of the schedule where it's like gross, and I'm like, this is like some like one of the hardest stretches in terms of of games when you go from like September 7th with the Packers through like the Lions. Like that's just not a fun stretch. Good luck.
The Packers game is early enough that I doubt Parsons is playing though.
Yeah.
I'll go with a
Well, even through the
plus here.
Rams, like Packers to the Rams, or not Rams, Ravens. Like you were playing the Packers,
Yeah.
you're playing the Cowboys, you're playing the Bears, the Lions, the Chargers, the Ravens, and then again you play the Rams. Like this is just not an easy schedule by any means. Like this is not a fun schedule, and I just want that to be known before I talk about this team. But I'll let you do your odds here.
Yeah, the odds 8.5 plus money. So again, like just another Vegas is kind of pushing you in a direction. They're first in the division and they're plus money to win 9 games. So again, Vegas is kind of saying, hey, maybe everybody goes below 500 again. They're 9th in the conference, as we talked about being the top 7 team, and then 20th in Super Bowl odds, I think right ahead of like the Commanders and sandwiched between the Commanders and Vikings. So I think if you like just asked a casual fan where they would be ranked, that's kind of right. Like so, I think that is in a place that is pretty decent. But
Yes. Yeah. It makes sense. I feel like going 6 games as we've done in the past makes the most sense here. I will kick us off. I have them losing to the Bengals and then beating the next 3 in the Browns, Vikings, and Packers, and then losing to the Cowboys and Steelers. So starting the stretch 3-3.
Matt, you want to go?
pulling it up, they will win the first 2 against Cincinnati and Cleveland, lose to Minnesota, beat Green Bay, lose to Dallas, and lose to Pittsburgh. So that's the same 3-3.
I'm going to go with beating the Bengals, beating the Browns, beating the Vikings, beating the Packers, losing to the Cowboys, beating the Steelers. So I'll go 5-1 to start.
Ooh, love this team.
Motivated Baker Mayfield.
Motivated Baker Mayfield. All right. I have them losing to the Panthers. If it wasn't obvious, I will point it out now. This division is so tightly contested that you are going to these three teams, this team and the next two teams, will just be splitting the divisional games, and you will be winning your home games and losing your away games. So they are losing the Panthers, beating the Falcons, losing to both the Bears and the Lions, and then beating the Panthers. So you are starting out 5-6.
Okay.
I have them. Let's see here. They will lose to Carolina, beat Atlanta, lose to the Bears, beat the Lions and Panthers.
All right. So you've got them at 6-5. I have them beating the Panthers, beating the Falcons, losing to the Bears, losing to the Lions, losing to the Panthers. So they are 7-3 at this point.
Nice. I will round this out. They will lose to both the Chargers and Ravens, beat both the Saints and Falcons, and then lose both to the Rams and Saints. That will put them at 7-10 on the season, with a potential to win the division.
Yeah,
That's
I have
crazy.
them losing to the Chargers, beating the Ravens, losing to the Saints, beating the Falcons, Rams, and Saints to end 10-7.
Wow. And then I will have them losing to the Chargers, losing to the Ravens, beating the Saints, beating the Falcons, losing to the Rams, and then for the division, I'll have them beat the Saints here to end 10-7. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I am the clear low man on the Buccaneers. Here, I'm 7-10. You guys are 10-7. There's a 3-game difference between us. And I think their ceiling is I think I'm getting pretty close to what that ceiling is. Like their ceiling, or not ceiling, floor. My bad. I think I'm getting very close to what their floor is. Like I think their floor is somewhere in like that 6 to 7 range. And again, I'm closer to that because I'm not a big fan of the schedule that they have to play. But I also think their ceiling is kind of close to where you guys are at. Like I think it's a very tight margin. Like I think it's like 6 for the floor, 10 for the ceiling. It's kind of where I'm at with the Bucs.
Yeah, I mean,
Matt?
it's hard because like I have a hard time saying they're going to be worse than last year just because of how gutted they were injury wise, and I just don't think Grizzard could figure out the run game, and they went out of their way to spend $10 million on running backs who were not Bucky Irving. So I feel like they're going to have a healthy run game, have a healthy offense. There is a lot of mystery, so projecting 10 wins is more so me liking the roster to an extent, more so than Ben does, but yeah, I would say the floor is probably right about where you said, like 7-10. I think the exact same. I'm being the high, you're being the low. Like, because again, like I think our conversation talking about like, are they in the top half of the conference? Probably not. Are they the best of the worst? They probably still are. So that's where I see them.
Yep.
Yeah, I think their ceiling is a lot higher than what I mean, sure there's some tough matchups here, but like looking at this schedule, I think that this team's good enough to sweep Carolina, actually sweep the division in general. So that's 6 right there. And then, I think that they could pull off a few more.
This division, though, I feel like
It doesn't. And that's why obviously I didn't pick that to happen either.
Yeah.
But it's like, it can get kind of close. So I mean, I don't know. My ceiling, I guess I'll put it like 12 wins, just to say that they'll squeak out a couple extra. And then my floor, I don't see them losing more than 10 games. So yeah, I'll put them at 7 as my floor.
Nice. So we all see the floor and ceiling very like similar to one another. We just where we fell in the prediction was a little different. So
Yeah. Just to recap one more time after, because Ben already did it, but I'm gonna do it one more time. Ben has him at 7-10, and then we have him. Matt and I have him at 10-7.
nice. Panthers.
I mean, it's an awesome place to be, to try and be the NFC Steelers, right? Like, I great for them. Like, I don't.
Yep.
Let me throw my shots in, baby.
You have to.
All right. Let us